Hey Cody and homeowners, this is Andy Taylor. I'm a senior project manager with Red Rock Roofing, where we stand for greatness. I'm at 10406 West 84th Place here in Arvada, and I'm going to do a quick inspection video for the roof. Now, the first thing I normally point out is going to be the grand-like subsets and the granule loss on the roof. It's more dirt than it is anything, and the gutter down there definitely needs to be cleaned out. This pine is definitely filling that up, which means that downspout over there is not funneling water away the way that it should. Now, the next thing I point out is going to be the drip edge flashing. So where you have gutters, there is a 2x2 inch L-shaped flange. That is code nowadays, and this part right here is actually coming away from the edge there, and just again more built up pine needles there. So the home and perimeter does have what's called a T-bar drip edge. Now, this is a 1 inch. This is not a 2 inch, which is now code. But this does encapsulate all the eaves and rakes of the home, protects you from wind-driven rain, ice damming runoff, and ultimately water migration. Now, what I am noticing on this roof is going to be lots of fray on the ends, and then a lot of thermal cracking that is up here. Now, this is actually hail, and I'll get a little more into that. But this thermal cracking really is just based off of lack of ventilation across the roof here. You can see this whole entire, and in this light, it's not showing great on my phone, but I can tell you the thermal cracking is definitely here. There is a little bit of hail up here as well. I'll speak to it. And then hail that had gone through the ridge over the garage. Now, here's where you can actually see some of the thermal cracking that's up here. This one, you can really see it. Now, these are considered to be high profile ridge caps. They just stand up on top of each other, which is really nice and gives a lot of curb appeal. Get a little more hail on the ridge. Now, this sounds like it's a fan going on the inside. This should not be a plastic boot jack on this that only got painted to the top. This should be a metal boot jack. Now, first thing an adjuster would look for when getting onto the roof to do a claim for insurance is called collateral damage. Collateral damage is simply signs and indicators. I went over a couple of these with some chalk so you can actually see indentations from previous storms. Now, once they verify that there has been a storm, the next thing they're looking for is called spalding. Spalding is simply when hail strikes the shingle, dislodges the granules to expose the fiberglass undermatting. Now, the way that they classify this damage is within a 10 by 10 foot square, one on each major slope. If you can find 6 to 10 of these marks, depending on the insurance company, then you gain the eligibility on paper for a full roof replacement. Now, I'm only finding it on the south slope, and I only found a couple on the north slope. So I don't think that hail is what we're focusing on here. Now, underfoot, this roof is pretty crispy. It's definitely got some age to it. Here at the chimney, this flashing piece is old and rusted. This definitely needs to be replaced. This old metal here is allowing water to really soften all of this wood that's right here, and that's not good. The metal on the flue pipe here is starting to rise. That is never a good thing. As you can see, that nail is popped out of the surface there, and that would need to be addressed as well. On the other side, this is definitely an Owens Corning shingle, and I know that because of the Sure Nail strip that's here, and I believe this is a teak color. But as you can see with the install here, the Sure Nail strip has been actually exposed. Now, this has had a lot of sun to it. This is not how they actually look when you see these, and then a little bit down here. The thermal cracking, though, is widespread. It's just minimal ventilation. Even on some of these older slant backs, they've got a couple of marks on them, but it's small hail comparatives to when this roof has been done. So although it's not in absolute terrible shape, it does have some hail. It's got lots of thermal cracking. The ventilation does need to be addressed. A lot of the flashing that's here does need to be addressed, and this 1 inch drip edge around the home is outside of code, so I believe that would need to be addressed as well. So I very much appreciate the opportunity. A little more of a wind damage right here. I appreciate the opportunity to get out here and to bring you up to speed. Again, it's Andy Taylor with Red Rock Roofing, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off with just a quick pic of the flat irons.